So you're ready to buy some crypto. It seems pretty simple, right? You just open an app, you link your bank account, and boom, with a couple of taps, you're the proud owner of some Bitcoin or Ethereum. But behind that super easy process is a really big question, one that gets right to the core of what cryptocurrency is all about. When you buy crypto on an exchange, who really owns it? Is it you or is it them?
All right, let's dive in. Here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics. What even is an exchange? Then we'll get into the two main flavors they come in, centralized and decentralized. After that, we'll put them head-to-head in a little showdown, and we'll wrap up with the one golden rule you absolutely have to know.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even get into who holds the keys to the kingdom, we need to make sure we're all on the same page. So what exactly is an exchange?
You know, at its heart, an exchange is really just a digital marketplace. If you've ever heard of the New York Stock Exchange, well, you're already most of the way there. It's just a central spot where buyers and sellers can meet up to trade stuff. Think of it like an eBay or an Amazon, but for money and digital assets.
Now let's talk about the first door most people walk through when they get into crypto. This is the most common, the most familiar type of exchange out there, the Centralized Exchange, or CEX for short.
Probably the easiest way to wrap your head around a CEX is to think of it kind of like a bank, but for crypto. It's a real company with a CEO and employees, and its job is to act as a trusted middleman. So when you make a trade, you're not actually trading directly with some other person out there. No, you're trusting the exchange to handle all the complicated bits for you. And listen, there are some very good reasons why people use them. For starters, they are incredibly easy to use, especially if you're a beginner. They're super fast, they have tons of liquidity, which is just a fancy way of saying there are always lots of people buying and selling, so your trades go through quickly. Plus, if you ever have a problem, there's actually a customer support team to help you out. And this is a big one. They're how you turn your regular money, like dollars and euros, into crypto in the first place.
But, and this is a really critical but, for all of that convenience, there's a huge trade-off. They hold your private keys. Now, think of a private key as the one and only key to your digital safe. It proves you own what's inside. And if they are the ones holding that key, well, then they're the ones who ultimately control your safe.
And that single problem, that whole question of control, is exactly what led to the creation of a totally different kind of exchange, one that's much closer to the original idea of blockchain. And that's the Decentralized Exchange, or DEX.
Okay, this is where things get wild. A DEX isn't a company. There's no office, no CEO. It's just a platform that runs on pure code. These bits of code are called smart contracts, and they're basically just automated rules. They let people trade directly with each other, peer-to-peer, with no middleman getting in the way.
So as you can probably guess, the advantages here are the exact opposite of a CEX's disadvantages. There's no intermediary taking a cut or freezing your account, and the big one, you always keep your keys. This is called being non-custodial. It means you have total control over your funds. Plus, these platforms are often more private, and they're open to literally anyone with an internet connection. Of course, there's a flip side to all that freedom. With total power comes total responsibility. There is no "I forgot my password" link. There is no customer support to call. If you lose your private keys, your funds are just gone, forever. The security is 100% on you.
So we've got two completely different ways of doing things. On one hand, you have convenience. On the other, you have control. Let's put them side by side and really break it down. Seeing them laid out like this really makes it all click, doesn't it? With a CX, control is in the hands of a company. With a DEX, it's all run by code. But the biggest difference, the one that really matters, is custody. A CX is custodial. They hold the keys. A DEX is non-custodial. You hold the keys. Then you've got ease of use. CXs are built for beginners, while DEXs definitely have more of a learning curve. And finally, anonymity. CXs need to know who you are, while DEXs generally don't. And all of this leads us to our final and by far most important section. Seriously, if you forget everything else from this explainer, please remember this one thing. So, after going through these two completely different worlds, what is the one golden rule that governs everything about ownership in crypto? It all comes down to this one simple, powerful phrase. Say it with me. Not your keys, not your coins. This is the mantra of crypto. And all it means is that if you don't personally control the private keys to your digital assets, you don't truly own them.
You're just trusting that someone else will give them back to you when you ask.
Let's just hammer this home one last time. Custodial means a third party, like a centralized exchange, holds your keys for you. You are placing your trust in them. Non-custodial means you and only you hold your own keys. You have the final say, you have all the control, but you also have all the responsibility. That right there is the fundamental choice.
So it all boils down to one personal question. When it comes to your assets, what do you value more? The ease and convenience of having someone guide you, or the absolute freedom and control of being your own bank? The answer to that question is going to shape your entire journey in this wild world of crypto.